Hello everybody and welcome back inside the box for another episode of Gunpla Kitbash with me, Kukamatsu. In this episode we're working on the front grille, so let's jump right in. Okay, I think it's time to do some work on the abdomen area. In my initial design, as I mentioned, I was inspired by a 1971 Buick Riviera. And that included this kind of grille that I wanted to put on the front here. I initially, was thinking that I was going to have to scratch build that part there. When I posted the design on Instagram, I got a lot of comments about how you're going to do that, and maybe you should do that, and maybe you should do this, and lots of great suggestions about what kits might be good candidates for that piece in there. This is something I really love about both Instagram and YouTube, and the reason that I've started posting on both of them is that the Gunpla community is just fantastic, and having people jump in and make suggestions about what I could possibly use on that area, it just blew me away. I'm really grateful for that. One of the suggestions by Soy Wakandiano was the F91, and I happen to have the F91 in my backlog, so I built it. And actually, I could have, of course, just taken the piece that I was looking for out of the kit and used it, but I thought, well, I might as well build the kit and enjoy that aspect of it first before I start stealing pieces from that. And the piece that he was suggesting was this chest piece right here. And I think that might fit really well in that space. So I'm going to pull this apart and see how it fits. Well, you sure do have to take a lot apart to get that piece out, but I'll put all that back together even without the chest piece. But just looking at it side by side, it looks like it's going to fit in there pretty nicely. So I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to try and figure out a way to fit that in there somehow, see what we need to do. So thank you very much for the suggestion, Soy Wakandiano. I'm gonna go for it. Well, I'm going to start by pulling this guy apart and seeing just how well that fits in there without me cutting off these things. I think these might be a little bit narrow for this, but it really depends on how far in I can put it. So there is some possibility that it's going to be the right width. So I won't cut too prematurely if I can help it. I'll take this apart and see if I can kind of fit it in there and get a sense of how well it's going to go. Well, when you look at it that way, it kind of fits perfectly. That could be kind of amazing. It's just a question of how it's going to integrate with the rest of the stuff. Let's try this. Well, I think I most certainly am going to have to cut off this bottom part of the gray area here, because it's going to be in the way no matter what. So I'm going to start with that. It's hard to know for sure, but I think I'm safe cutting off that lower part of the gray completely, just straight across there. I think there are enough connection points for everything else that I'm not going to have a problem with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop it off. This is going to need some trimming too. I think it's safe to say that these side parts need to come off one way or the other. The only other question beyond that will be how far do I cut there so that I can get this in to that space. So let's just start simple and cut off these side pieces. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this internal part or have it open, but I will leave it off for now, make a decision later. Okay, well that's getting us closer to the result. It actually looks like it's pretty close to going. So I'm just going to trim a little bit more off the back, do it slowly, see how much it needs. Well, it's almost like it was made to be in that spot. I can't really believe it, how well that fit. That is amazing. Wow, I really thought that was going to be a lot of work to find something or to do that from scratch, but I mean, look at that. It just works. I think I will leave out this internal piece. I kind of like that you can see inside a little bit and you can see the pilot back there. So I think that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it to go nearly that easily, so since I have some extra time this week, I'm going to go ahead and get ahead on the arms here. This is pretty simple stuff. I just want to fill that hole there, and I want to fill that little detail in, and this little detail as well. There we go, got those spaces filled in, and pretty close to the final surface. I think there will be some little detail work to do at the end, just make sure that all those corners are filled properly. It's a very subtle modification, but I think it will help the overall look of the whole kit. And that grill went so easily. This may end up being a shorter than normal episode, unexpectedly, but not going to complain about that. I love it when it goes well like that. Thank you very much for watching. That is the end of this week's episode. Please consider giving me a like on your way out, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.